Finally, Machine Gun Kelly got what he wanted because so many people are shocked by his new art piece. Machine Gun Kelly just revealed his massive tattoo and fans are freaking out. So if you're wondering what's the big deal about a tattoo, well, the one MGK recently got almost covers his entire upper body and arms. And when he debuted his new look on Instagram, his caption simply read, "For spiritual purposes only." And he also said it took 44 needles to finish the tattoo. So what was the tattoo? It was a huge blackout one, which means they basically filled in the areas on his body with ink, which resulted in him looking like he's wearing a cropped long sleeve jacket, but maybe that's just me. He also asked his fans what they thought, and one user described how they were sad MGK had to cover his previous tattoos for his new one, and they were emotionally attached to those old ones. And another agreed by saying they liked his older tattoos because they were his history and iconic. Before his blackout piece, his upper body was filled with colorful ink, with his entire back inked with blue, red, and even yellow, and for his front side, it was also filled with other pieces and colorful ink. But now, roughly half of his upper body is just covered in black ink. Which, I mean, if he likes it, that's all that matters. I just can't even think about the pain he went through just sitting there while they finished this piece. Plus, blackout tattoos are usually used to cover up existing tattoos or made as a statement piece, and can even be a symbol of grief and mourning, which I believe MGK got for that exact reason, because both him and Megan have actually opened up about a time in their life that was really hard for them. In fact, with MGK's new look, it meant new music, and specifically in his new song, "Don't Let Me Go," he discussed a very painful time in his life, which included the negative thoughts on himself. Plus, he talked a bit about his tattoo, which he raps, "I had a breakdown and tatted my entire body except one line," which is exactly the blackout tattoo he received, because in the middle, the one line that's not filled in. He also rapped about the unfortunate loss he and his fiancée Megan Fox experienced after miscarrying back in 2021, and when he raps about this, he expresses his sadness that his hand wasn't on Megan's stomach while this was happening, and now he has no one to turn to because everyone who has raised him in the past, well, is no longer with us. And this is a very vulnerable moment and insight in MGK's life, which he shares, and it's honestly really sad, and my heart goes out for the both of them. It hasn't been easy on them, as Megan has even opened up about this time in her book of poetry titled "Pretty Boys Are Poisonous," which included her thoughts and emotional toll. She opened up a bit, but on Good Morning America back in November of 2023, where she talks about how she's never really gone through anything like this in her life before, and it was very difficult for them together and separately to try to navigate what this all meant and why did it happen. A lot of their feelings are still lingering, as it appears they're still seeking closure to hopefully allow them to finally find peace after their loss. It's clear that these two have a ton of emotions still regarding their pregnancy from almost 3 years ago. MGK even previously shared a story behind the heartbeat in his song titled "Twin Flame," and this revealed he initially was working on something called 1 Day and 10 Weeks, which Megan also talks about in her book as well, because that is how far her pregnancy was before the news. He actually also made another song titled "Last November," which expressed all the sadness the two experienced, but ultimately they decided to keep that private. MGK and Megan Fox made headlines with their relationship back in 2020 because of the surprising pairing, plus their infamous engagement ring that was meant to hurt if Megan were to take it off. And surprise, she actually did take it off before, because they canceled their engagement and had an off and on again relationship, but have decided to stay engaged in the present day, but are still working through their lows, as reported by Entertainment Tonight. This insider also added that the two have ups and downs like most couples, but they love so hard that things can get really intense, but ultimately they want to do their best to hear one another out and better themselves, as they want to be happy, loving, supportive, and honest in their relationship. But MGK's tattoo isn't the only thing that this couple is getting attention for, at least physically, because just recently the couple got a photo at the Super Bowl after party with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And this photo went absolutely viral, not because of Taylor and Travis, but because a ton of people were discussing how Megan Fox wasn't even recognizable in this photo. I've seen mixed reactions, with some people saying she still looks like herself, but others completely disagree. Personally, I actually thought it was Kim Kardashian with blonde hair when I first saw the photo, but Megan's hair in the photo was blonde and pink, which is the complete opposite of her signature dark hair, which threw me off, but regardless, it still looked amazing. But would it be a video without any controversy? Of course not, silly, because after many people saw the post of her at the Super Bowl, they flooded her social media account with comments saying she didn't even look like herself. So Megan decided to respond by saying, "Oh my god guys, look how different I don't look at all." Turns out it was just a shadowy cell phone pic of me looking like a Ukrainian, and let's just say Megan says doll, but not a Barbie doll, but rather a doll made for adults. Megan actually further adds that in reality she doesn't look like those dolls from Ukraine, but rather those super expensive silicone and realistic ones you can get from Japan. But that made things worse because people weren't happy with the comment she made about Ukrainian women. One user actually commented, "It's disgraceful to offend any women, but offending Ukrainian women who now stand as icon of strength and heroism in a brutal war is absolutely disgusting." And this controversy took over the internet as some expressed how she could have come up with a better caption to make it iconic, but instead she chose this. One user on Instagram even wrote, "I guess fillers finally got to your brain. Ouch." But it's clear the general public was disappointed by Megan and even demanded an apology, but she has yet to respond. I feel like this couple was talked about by everyone and their dogs years ago, but now they're not really brought up as much as they were before until now. Because the Netflix show Love is Blind also just gained even more attention to this couple, but specifically Megan. I'm not sure if you've watched the show or heard of it before, but it's basically blind speed dating, and in order to see the partner you connect with, you must become engaged before you actually know what your fiance looks like. So Chelsea Blackwell was on the show and told the man she was interested in that her celebrity lookalike was Megan Fox. She did say it was just mainly her hair color and eyes, and she didn't really see it that much, but Jimmy Presnell, the man hearing this information, immediately grew interested in his apparent Megan Fox lookalike girlfriend. So he actually proposed, which meant they could finally see each other face to face, and this was when things go wrong, because when they finally met, their interaction was quite awkward as it was obvious Jimmy was disappointed to say the least. But this viral moment has caused people to debate on whether Chelsea actually looked like Megan or not. One user on TikTok shared her theory about how Chelsea was a flight attendant during the pandemic, which meant she wore a mask. Chelsea also said she would mostly get told about the similarities between her and the Transformer star while on the job, which means potentially they saw the upper half of her face, and I personally 100% agree with this theory because I see some similarities, obviously not all, but the whole mask thing would make sense. Chelsea has even received support from Julia Fox, who was known for dating Kanye West, but I'd like to mention Julia and Megan are not related even though they both have the same last name. But Julia commented under Chelsea's TikTok expressing the hate she's received from her Megan Fox claims, but Julia commented, "Don't worry sis, I see it." And this whole incident also caused Chelsea to message Megan Fox to apologize for the whole mess she dragged herself into, which is kind of funny and definitely something I didn't expect to happen this year. I don't know if you're caught up or not in your MGK and Megan Fox relationship knowledge, but the two initially met when they were on set for a movie back in 2020, and due to the pandemic, the plans for the project had to change, but these two stars began to spend a lot of time together. And in that same month, Brian Austin Green, who was Megan's former husband, confirmed that the two have split, and rumors flooded after Megan appeared in MGK's love interest in his music video for Bloody Valentine, and the two also shared some unique experiences they have done together, including drinking each other's blood as a ritual. And in 2022, MGK proposed to Megan, but just months later, there were rumors that they split after Megan shared a cryptic post featuring lyrics from Beyonce's 2016 album Lemonade and a video of an envelope being burned in a fire pit. That wasn't all, because she also deleted all the photos and videos of MGK off her Instagram and then deleted her whole account, which some speculated cheating because we all know the album Lemonade was just about that. An insider claimed that the two had a fight and Megan was very upset, which led her to not speak to MGK, and in March of 2023, Megan arrived at the Vanity Fair Oscars afterparty by herself and not wearing her engagement ring. But 2 months later, the couple was seen together once again, and it wasn't smooth sailing though, because there were reports that Megan was having a hard time trusting MGK, and that led the two to enter therapy. The insider also added that there were times they just wouldn't talk because things got so bad, and this caused plans for their wedding to actually have to be altered, and Megan was apparently hesitant to plan the wedding, which was surprising for some because the two of them originally were in wedding planning mode when they first got together. But due to both parties being very hot-tempered, they chose to put a pause to hopefully cause less tension between them, but nothing has been said recently, so I guess only time will be able to tell for the future of this couple. Are you surprised that Megan and MGK are still together? Because I'd be lying if I said no. And of course, what are your thoughts thoughts on MGK's new tattoo? Do you love it or hate it? I would love to know all your thoughts and opinions surrounding this Hollywood couple, and if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!